is the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be pod smacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
Hello and welcome to episode number 75. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. If you're listening on iTunes, thank you very much. If you get a chance to share with others, that would be terrific. We try to keep these around a half an hour, and I think that's perfectly portable, particularly on iTunes, because you can take it with you. You can listen to it in the car. You can listen to it when you work out. If I keep it at 30 minutes, then you'll know when the end of your time on the treadmill ends. Okay? Anyway, glad to have you here, guys. A lot of things are happening in the world. We're going to get to some of those here in a few. This podcast is going to be a little bit less political today. Got some interesting stories. I think you're going to enjoy. Got some satire we're going to play as well. All of that available right here. If you want to check out my Facebook page, it's Rob Carson Show. If you want to check out the website, it is Rob Carson Show. And we do have a new line of politically incorrect swag. It's called Conservatees, T-E-E-S. And it is available on a website called T-Public, T-E-E Public. A lot of really good things there. We've got some Maryland-centric items supporting the governor of Maryland. I want to thank redmaryland.com for posting the podcast and sharing the information about some of the swag we have. We're going to be adding some Missouri stuff to that and some other states as well. And then, of course, the national stuff as well. So all of that coming up. Let's start off with a little United update, because right now everybody kind of wants to go after United Airlines because of what happened to Dr. David Dow. And thank goodness we haven't heard about him today. It's a song by a buddy of mine named Jim Gossett. Enjoy it. Little Blue Eyes for you.
Come bleed with me, United is insane. If you can use a big fat bruise, then refuse to leave the plane. Come bleed with me, next time I'll take a train. When you fly United, they will drag you down the aisle. That's their style. Should go to trial when you fly United. Yeah. They might punch you in the face or use mace. Real disgrace they won't own up to. PR-wise, United's really screwed. When they drag that poor man off, all the passengers just booed. Wouldn't be a shocker if their butts got sued. Come bleed with me. They're nasty and they're rude.
Hi, there you go, Jim Gossett. Great talent.
Hey, Oscar, we accommodate this.
All right, so now a couple wanting to jump on the bandwagon, possibly on the lawsuit bandwagon. They were headed to Costa Rica for their wedding. They got kicked off a United flight in Houston on Saturday afternoon. The United Airlines Flight 1737 headed from Houston to Liberia, Costa Rica. Here is the story from Houston television.
Around 5 yesterday evening, Michael Hull and his bride-to-be Amber Maxwell boarded Flight 1737 Houston
Michael Hull. That's unfortunate.
to Costa Rica, headed to their destination wedding. When they got to their seats in row 24, Hull says a man was stretched out over them, sleeping.
We decided just to sit a few rows in front of our seat because it was an empty row. There's plenty of empty rows.
A flight attendant noticed and talked to the couple. This is where United's account of things differs from Hull's. The airline said in a statement that the couple, quote, repeatedly attempted to sit in upgraded seating and, quote, would not follow crew instructions.
Okay, now, I have moved from seats. Whether it be there's somebody in my seat or whether I decide I don't want to sit in that seat, and if there are other seats available on a plane, I will go and sit in the other seat. And I'll maybe mention it to the flight attendant, whatever. And they have no problem with this whatsoever. I've never had an issue with it. And I'm a big guy, you know, maybe some people might look at me as physically imposing to some degree, but I've never had an issue. So, you know, there's something up with this couple. And I'll bet you anything they were trying to take advantage of the fact that they were going to go get married and they wanted to move up and they thought that the flight crew would be sympathetic.
Turn to their assigned seats. Hull says that wasn't the case at all.
He just said that we had to return to our seats. We returned to our seats. A marshal came back not more than 2 minutes later and removed us from the plane.
Okay, all right. So you return to your seats. What happened between you returning to your seats? Because they're not going to bring a marshal onto the plane if you've just moved back to your seats. This is a load of crap.
And that was it.
So instead of joining their wedding party in Costa Rica,
P.S.
Unfortunately, they're there and we're here.
the bride and groom spent the night in Houston.
I want to be on the beach with my friends, with my fiance, and get ready for my wedding.
The couple got there today, but not before they say they learned a valuable lesson about flying the friendly skies with United.
They're going to start losing money if they keep treating their patrons like this.
And this is a non-story. It's a non-story, and this is wanting to take advantage of the dog pile on United because of David Dow, and that was a joke too. I'm sorry, that was a joke. The guy was mentally unstable. 50,000 people are hauled off flights or asked to leave flights because they're overbooked or whatever, and you never have an issue like that. David Dow is an unhinged man who years ago addicted young men to painkillers as a physician, and then when they became hopelessly addicted, he made them pay for their painkillers with sexual favors. He lost his license and he got it back. He is nuts. But United's taking a hit for it, and this cute little couple decides they're gonna stick it to United. It's a load. It's a load. I didn't remember when Mulan came out. Disney's Mulan came out in 1998. You remember? McDonald's always ties into big Disney movies, and it's odd. My daughter was watching what the heck, Atlantis, and I've got like McDonald's collections of McDonald's toys. The movie Dinosaurs, 102 Dalmatians, several other movies. The McDonald's ties into them. So back in 1998, when Mulan came out, they decided to create a Szechuan sauce for their chicken McNuggets. I don't know if they serve these chicken McNuggets in a Chinese food carton, but it was to tie into the movie Mulan, all right? And they had this Szechuan sauce that apparently was an insult to Chinese cooking because it's bland, flavorless. I mean, welcome to McDonald's, folks. Here's the ad that ran in 1998 for you millennials. You may remember this.
Okay, when I say McDonald's Chicken McNuggets,
I know, I hit the gong.
in honor of Disney's new movie Mulan, the epic adventure about this cool girl who saves China, McDonald's is offering tender, crispy Chicken McNuggets in a new Szechuan sauce for a taste of the East. Starting Tuesday, get 6 pieces for 99 cents, or 20 pieces for $3.29. And please hurry, or Gone Boy over here may never stop.
Somebody say McDonald's.
Okay, so that's the commercial. Now, Yasmin Tayag wrote a piece called "McDonald's Shouldn't Bring Back Szechuan Sauce for the Mulan Remake." Apparently, there is a Mulan remake coming back. He has blasted the Szechuan sauces as disrespectful to Chinese culture, not spicy enough, somehow connected to the United States incident or United Airlines incident. I'll get to that in a second. Here's the thing. Have you had sweet and sour chicken? If you as an adult are eating sweet and sour chicken, that is an affront to Chinese cuisine, okay? I liked it when I was in high school. You grow up. All right, that's fried chicken with a candy sauce on it and some pineapple and carrots in it and green peppers. It is an affront. It's what children eat. Chicken McNuggets. If you are an adult and you are eating chicken McNuggets with Szechuan sauce, you have no sense of taste whatsoever, or you're still a child. Tayag wrote, in fact, rolling out Szechuan sauce with the original Mulan was itself problematic, though critics were less aware then of the film collapsed millennia of complex Chinese history and culture into a flat, oversimplified pastiche. I don't even know what a pastiche is, but he used the word, obviously, because nobody else does and he wants to show how smart he is. Maybe they just cared less. Either way, it's not surprising that the country's elaborate cuisine and varied flavor profiles were likewise distilled into that catch-all sweet, spicy, sour Chinese condiment, the aforementioned Szechuan sauce, and served up alongside all-American chicken McNuggets. According to Tayag, this sauce also is connected to every slight against Asian Americans that happened this year. I wonder what a frickin' cheeseburger in China tastes like. Yeah, I wonder what a steak in China tastes like. Okay? I want to eat Mexican food in China. See how good it is there. Well, we've come a long way since Mulan. We unfortunately still live in an age where Scarlett Johansson is our best Japanese actress and Asian men are beat up on airplanes for no reason other than gross ignorance. There's no telling whether McDonald's will actually bring back Szechuan. But the last thing Asian Americans need is a sauce to obscure the diversity of their cultures in the same shade of faceless, nationless, Western-approved brown. Wow. Kids don't eat spicy Szechuan by and large in the United States. It wouldn't sell. So Mulan has an Asian-inspired Szechuan sauce that they know kids will like it because kids eat chicken McNuggets. Okay? If you had authentic Mexican food, it's terrible. All right? It's by and large, it's pretty bad. Americans, we changed it for Americans. We added flavors, we added lots of cheese and sour cream, and we made Mexican food really awesome. I lived next to neighbors. They were, Mexican immigrants. The great people, by the great people. The sauces were bland and flavorless. They had this cooker where you just put lard in it and throw like kidneys in it. Didn't even season them. And that was supposedly good. It was the only time I'd ever taken something and thrown it over the fence while they weren't looking. And even then, I got discovered because the dog wouldn't eat it. See? So, McDonald's Szechuan sauce. If you want authentic Szechuan sauce, you ain't gonna get it at McDonald's. All right, you're not gonna get it at Panda Express either. I hate to tell you that. Okay. I mean, my tastes of it have advanced since 1998. Well, we are exposed to so many more flavors, and we're so open. And listen, I know this because I've got a cooking blog, and I've got about 100 cooking videos on the web. And we evolve and we grow and we try new things. Some people never do. But in this country, kids by and large like macaroni and cheese. They like McDonald's chicken McNuggets. They like the Happy Meal. They like the French fries. We forced them into making yogurt and apple slices a choice, and that's okay. They're a healthier option. I get it. I've requested the nuggets as well, or the apples as well. But of course, McDonald's Szechuan sauce is an affront to Chinese culture. Of course, because the authentic Chinese Szechuan sauce wouldn't sell. Wisconsin University has become the third in the country to offer free tampons to in men's restrooms on campus. University of Wisconsin-Madison rolling out a pilot program to offer free tampons in women's restrooms on the campus, and lest men feel left out, a few men's restrooms will offer them as well. Free women's hygiene products will be available in the women's restrooms of 3 campus buildings. In one, the Red Gym, they'll be offered in men's bathrooms as well. Menstrual products will be available in all the bathrooms of the Red Gym so that they are available to any student who might need them, according to spokesman Steve Wagner. University of Wisconsin-Madison's Red Gym is where it houses the LGBT campus center, the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender campus center, and multicultural student center, among other offices. Student leaders had pushed for the program after several Big Ten schools decided to offer free menstrual products because, that ought to be free, I guess. You can't go to the store and buy those. Anyway, a UW-Madison student representative calls free menstrual product dispensers a necessity. It's definitely a deficit and an unnecessary burden for anyone who has to go to purchase menstrual products. According to UW-Madison student representative Katrina Morrison. Push for free women's hygiene products on the campus has swept many major universities. In October, both Syracuse and Cornell began offering tampons in the men's bathrooms. Last fall, Columbia canceled the program because there was low student interest in the products. And it's probably because if you ever university bathrooms, nobody steals the toilet paper because it's awful, one-ply, cheapest stuff in the world. So you can imagine what the tampons are like, or the menstrual products, as it were. I was amazed at the Patriots Super Bowl victory this year. I know, it was pretty remarkable, the comeback, the victory. I've never been a Patriots hater, but this latest move by several Patriots and their fans is making me a Patriots hater. Several of them are boycotting the White House Super Bowl celebration because they want to speak out against Donald Trump. And they're saying it's not about politics. Well, hell yes, it's about politics. Here's a little bit from this little, I don't know if it's a PSA, it's a little video featuring fans and players who are anti-Trump.
To people who believe that the Patriots are tied to Trump, tied to the alt-right,
It's ridiculous.
I think it's a bunch of bull.
Nobody thinks that the Patriots are tied to the alt-right, which is a made-up word that just rolled around last fall. All right? Nobody believes that. But this is a bunch of left-leaning East Coasters.
It's just crazy, man.
Massachusetts was one of 2 states in the entire country where not a single county was won by Trump.
Okay, now you've just shown me that this is a political decision.
Now, obviously, you want to switch the narrative. So for me, it was simple. I don't believe in excluding other people.
The misogyny, the racism, that's not okay.
I am deeply
What racism?
connected to the community. I am the parent of 2 kids. Right now, I feel like the leader of our nation is not being a role model to kids. And so I take that very seriously.
Wait. And NFL players are. NFL players are role models to kids? Really?
What's happening was other things were winning, like lying, groping women, being...
No, he didn't grope women. He talked about it in an unauthorized recording when a microphone was left on and he was recorded without him knowing. Bill Clinton actually did grope women.
mean and getting away with it was
Being
winning.
mean. Being mean. How is he being mean?
For me, it's not political. It's moral.
Okay. It is political. Tom Brady and the coach of the Patriots, they both are supporters of Trump. But it doesn't mean the entire team is that way. Here's a little bit. And by the way, some of the players involved with this, Martellus Bennett, I guess, Devin McCourty. You can tell how much I follow sports. Alan Branch, LeGarrette Blount, and some fans as well. By the way, the video is called Standing Pats Be Patriots. And basically, it's a political hack job. People who decided they don't want to go to the White House because they didn't vote for Trump.
Right away, I knew I wasn't going because it was something I thought about before we even won the game.
My son grows up, and I believe the legacy of our president is going to be what it is. I don't want him to...
What is the legacy of the president going to be? Because right now he's doing pretty well in the economy, doing really well on the foreign relations, kicking Syria's ass, going after ISIS. What's that legacy going to be, sir?
Say, hey, Dad, why'd you go when you knew the right thing was to not go?
To you, politically, to you, the right thing is not to go.
The players who are deciding to stand pat, thank you.
I think you guys are brave. I think you're courageous. I think you're doing what's right.
And I would tell them thank you for being role models.
I would not go to the White House. I'm not a big fan.
Okay, well, you know what? F the Patriots. F the Patriots and F their fans as far as I'm concerned. Honestly. F you. I hope you lose. I hope you go back to being the giant suck fest that you always were. And how dare you? You're invited to the White House. This is a new phenomena, by the way. And it's always, there were plenty of reasons for conservatives not wanting to go to the White House when Barack Obama was there. All right? But this seems to be a uniquely anti-conservative hit job. So, F them. That's what I have to say. F them. Apparently, right-handed people have privilege now. This is according to a student at the University of New Orleans. Darius Minor observed that nearly everything is structured for convenient use by right-handed people, including both school supplies and home architecture. Quote, don't try to silence a left-handed person who complains about scissors hurting their hand or how uncomfortable school desks are to sit in, or the struggle of having dirty hands from writing in pencil, said Minor. He observed that right-handed privilege may seem petty compared to, say, white, male privilege, heterosexual, cisgender privilege. Nevertheless, the world is made for right-handed people because there are so many more of them, Junior. Left-handed people, a small minority, have historically been the subject of suspicion, by the way. I didn't know this. The word sinister derives from the Latin word for left-handed. I didn't even know about that. My wife is, she's bi. Ambidextrous. She goes both ways. Pretty hot. You should see her when she plays baseball. She can throw with the left hand, right hand, doesn't matter. To this day, studies show that left-handed people are more prone to accidents and early death due to traffic rules, hand railings, etc. What about people in Great Britain? Right-handers. You're driving on the left side of the road? Acknowledging the obstacles that lefties face, Minor writes that right-handed people should acknowledge the privilege you have, learn how to be an advocate for left-handed people. Wow. One of the big movements on campus these days is safe spaces. There was a university, Duquesne University. They don't want Chick-fil-A on campus because of the owner or the founder doesn't agree with gay marriage, so it makes them feel unsafe on campus. Notre Dame, some students don't want Mike Pence to speak there because they say it creates an unsafe space for them, and they feel threatened. This is the new censorship. A couple of guys named Chad Prather and Steve Mudflap came up with a song. It's called Safe Spaces. I think you'll recall this song by Garth Brooks. Enjoy this. We'll be back with more on the Carson Show podcast in just a couple of seconds.
Blame it all on our roots. We never wore boots. Never once played in the street.
Yeah.
Feel very bitter. Get our news off of Twitter. Just can't handle defeat. You saw the surprise, fear in our eyes. Donald became president. Scream, this can't be true. America's through. To the safe spaces we went. I've got friends in safe spaces. If you don't go with us, then you must be racist. That's our catchphrase. Where's my latte? Come on in and let's get cozy. Showing off participation trophies. Watching CNN. Safe spaces.
All right, if you want to hear the rest of that, just go look up Chad Prather, Prather, and Steve Mudflap McGrew, also known as Larry the Liberal. All right, you can see that on iTunes and on YouTube as well. It's extensive. It's a long song, has a video with it. I think you'll enjoy it. Survivor contestant Jeff Varner has been fired from his real-life job as a real estate agent after outing a fellow contestant as transgender during an episode of the hit reality TV show this month. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight, Varner confirmed that he had been fired from his job Thursday at the Allen Tate Real Estate in North Carolina, where he works and worked before the shooting. Said he was devastated. During a tribal council, and I played this on a previous podcast, Varner looked a little desperate, apparently he would be voted off the island. He said, there's deception here. Deception on levels. And then he turned to fellow contestant Zeke Smith and says, why haven't you told anybody you're transgender? Gasp, shriek. You can't say anything against transgender people. He was voted off for the first time with no official vote. Probst just said, you're done. The contestant issued a statement apologizing for recklessly revealing the transgender status of this person. Comes into work last week after the show had aired. He's done at work. He'd been told basically you're terminated. Didn't even find out from my company, just heard it from the MLS Association. His real estate license was inactive. Current clients were left in the dark. It took hours after the press junket to get anyone with the company on the phone to tell him personally, and even longer to calm my clients, all of whom, by the way, are coming with me to my new firm. I wasn't given a chance to explain right or wrong because it's an intolerance. It's an intolerance. That's what it's all about. You cannot say anything against. I'm not saying what he did was right. But this is not only making him pay on the show, but also in real life. And he could be done. Blacklisted. Because the last thing you want to do is want to say anything conceived as anti-trans, anti-gay. It's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. By the way, Mike Pence visited the DMZ. That's the border between North and South Korea. Earlier today. I like this guy. I think Mike Pence is a badass. And there is a new sheriff in town with regard to foreign policy in the world. We're not here to bend over and take it. In other words, here's Mike Pence at the DMZ. I like his style.
Since 1992, the United States and our allies have stood together for a denuclearized Korean peninsula. We hope to achieve this objective through peaceful means, but all options are on the table. Just in the past 2 weeks, the world witnessed the strength and resolve of our new president in actions taken in Syria and Afghanistan. North Korea would do well not to test his resolve or the strength of the armed forces of the United States in this region.
By the way, on Saturday, North Korea had a badly failed nuclear test. Some are reporting or saying that the United States hacked. And some who would make it appear like it's Barack Obama's, credit goes to Barack Obama, are saying that it was all Obama policy that resulted in this, even though he never attempted to stop North Korea with nuclear tests before.
We will continue to deploy the THAAD missile defense system as a defensive measure called for by the alliance and for the alliance. We will continue to evolve a comprehensive set of capabilities to ensure the security of South Korea. And as our Secretary of Defense made clear here in South Korea not long ago, we will defeat any attack and we will meet any use of conventional or nuclear weapons with an overwhelming and effective response.
We're not bringing basketballs signed by Michael Jordan to North Korean dictators like Madeleine Albright did with Kim Jong-il.
Over the past 18 months, North Korea has conducted 2 unlawful nuclear tests and an unprecedented number of ballistic missile tests, even conducting a failed missile launch as I traveled here for this visit. The era of strategic patience is over.
Boom. We will see what happens. Very non-political story. New York City parents still worry about their kids having sex, drinking, and smoking, but kids are far more interested in smartphones and video games like Pokemon and Grand Theft Auto. I don't think they're really into Pokemon, are they? My son isn't. Nearly half of city teens, 45.6%, spend at least 3 hours a day playing their computer or video games, according to the 2015 Biennial Youth Risk Behavior Survey. It's up from 41.7% in 2003, 28% in 2005. Percentage of high schoolers who haven't had sex fell from 31.2% to 27.2% in 2015. Record pace. And they're not drinking. And they're not smoking weed. They're playing video games. Here. I don't play. Make it violent. I don't care if it's violent video games. You're not having sex and you're not getting high and you're not getting drunk. I keep telling my son, just keep playing those video games. Okay, this is kind of funny. Peyton Manning has explained, finally, the meaning behind saying Omaha. Okay, this is the buzzword that he used when he's in the pocket or whatever, when he's ready to have the ball hiked to him. You could tell I obviously pay a lot of attention to sports, but he used the expression Omaha. Here he is describing what the meaning of Omaha is.
Omaha was just an indicator word. It was a trigger word that meant we had changed the play. There was low time on the clock, and that ball needed to be snapped right now. And it kind of let the offensive line.
What's really amazing to me is nobody figured it out. It should be fairly obvious considering how many times he said it. This isn't some sort of an elaborate code. It should have been fairly easy for defenses to figure out eventually after reviewing game tape what this was all about, but they didn't get it.
And know, hey, we've gone to plan B. There's low time on the clock. It's a rhythmic 3-syllable word. Omaha said, I'm a big deal in Omaha, Nebraska now. I went there a couple of years ago. I got the key to the city. I believe that. Charity donation. So I always got Omaha if I need a place to live.
Yeah, people loved him in Omaha because any attention you can give to Omaha is greatly appreciated. I'm originally from Omaha, Nebraska, by the way. I was born in Omaha, Nebraska, lived there until I was about 5, and grew up listening to Omaha radio. So, lived just outside of Omaha. Just a non sequitur I think is kind of interesting. Where do you shop according to your age? And you know this is very true. Stores are geared, like radio stations, like shows are geared to different demographics, right? New study by Earnest.com, I guess, talks about when people are most likely to shop at different stores. At IKEA, it's 24 years old. Although it has not lost its luster for me and my wife, and we're middle-aged. 24. You know why? Because it's cheap. Okay? It's cheap. You can outfit your dorm room, you can outfit your first apartment, and it's cheap. The glasses are cheap, the dishes are cheap, the gadgets are cheap, the rugs are cheap, the chairs are cheap. IKEA is cheap. Lighting is cheap. Great place for lighting, by the way. Love it, love it, love it. 30% of IKEA's customers 24 to 30 years old. When do you outgrow IKEA? 34. Nope. I still love going to IKEA. Love it, love it, love it, love it. In your 40s, you start hitting Restoration Hardware and Pier 1 Imports. I started hitting Pier 1 Imports when I was in my 20s. I don't go to Restoration Hardware. It's too damn expensive. You are most likely to go to Home Depot when you're 48 and Lowe's when you're 54. Again, I started earlier. I started going to Menards. Then I went to Home Depot. Then I went to Lowe's. And I've been going to each of them. And now Ace Hardware. And again, I'm a middle-aged person. So there you go. I think that's going to about do it for the episode number 75 of the podcast. I want to thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed what you heard today. Again, if you would tell your friends that it is available at iTunes, just go to the Rob Carson Show, on iTunes. There is my Facebook page, just Rob Carson Show. There is my website, robcarsonshow.com. And don't forget the politically incorrect swag line at teepublic.com, teepublic.com. Just look for Conserva Tees. Conserva, Tees. Have a blessed day, and we'll see you for episode number 76 very soon.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram, I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.